Hey guys, my name is Pierre from Can-Am, SpyderAccessories.com, and welcome to the Spyder Shop. In this video, we're going to be doing the installation of one of these backrests down here on an F3 Can-Am Spyder. For this project, you're going to need a couple of these bits. So if you have a screwdriver or a ratchet, that'll be good. So you're going to need a number 5. You're going to need 1/8. And you're going to need a 5/32. So like I said, screwdriver or ratchet. And you're also going to need, this is a number 10 socket. And you're going to need these two keys here. I have a 1/2 inch, and I also have 7/16. Once we've emptied out the box, we've done the unpackaging, this is what you're going to find. So of course you got your backrest right here. You have the pouch that goes on the back. This bracket here is going to be inserted underneath your seat, and this is what's going to be sticking out, and this is what we're going to see and come and fix everything on top of this one bracket right here. Okay, so this will be underneath the seat. This is actually what they call the slider. I think it's actually your adjustable backrest. So once the backrest is attached to that, that will actually slide up and down on this here and be able to give you different adjustment in height. This is the stopper that we're going to be using. It doesn't tell much like that, but when you see it attached here, it's actually when you swivel this, so it stops here or there. This little plate here is going to be the stopper, and these are going to be acting as the pivots in these brackets here that will allow the back and forth and to push the seat all the way down when you the passenger wants to get on, and just a little bit of hardware here. So nothing too much intimidating in this here. It's a low difficulty project. There's a couple of things we won't be using. So if you can just go ahead and find these two screws here. We won't be needing those. And this here we won't be needing as well. So we can just go ahead and get rid of those. My backrest is already installed on the F3, of course, because I had to practice a couple of times. I wanted to make sure that I really understood what I was doing to be able to communicate as best as I could. So I thought I'd show you just a little bit of what it looks like once it's installed. And this bracket here is interesting. So this is this bracket here, and this is the way that it's sitting down right here. So you can see that there. And the other bracket, the black bit that you can see here that goes towards the top, is actually this bracket here that's right on top of it there. And when we say it's an adjustable backrest, it's because the two screws we'll be putting here, if we don't tighten them all the way up, you'll be able to pull on the backrest, the whole thing, and it'll come out. And if you want this to be secured and not have it stolen or anything like that, then you can just go ahead and put the screws really tight once you've adjusted the height and everything else that you needed on the backrest. So let's go ahead, and I'll go ahead and remove that, and then we'll start from scratch. To get this thing going, we're going to have, well, the first thing we're going to have to do is remove the two seats, the riders and the passenger. To be able to do that, you're going to need the 10 millimeter that I was telling you about. If you do have, with your ratchet set there, if you got one of these extension bar that's about, I don't know, about 6 or 7 inches here, that might be useful, okay? Because where we have to go, we're going to need that extra length. I'm taking into consideration that you've never opened the seat because you never had to. So the first thing to do is to release the passenger seat and be able to take that off. Well, you're going to need to put in your key, and then you're going to push down, and simply, once you've pushed down, you're going to turn right. And then you'll hear it, it'll just click, and you've pulled on the little lever that goes underneath here, underneath your Can-Am Spyder, all the way to the seat, and you've just released a little plug that will allow you to lift up the seat from the back. So you can lift up from the back like this, and then you'll see it just pull towards you, and it'll come. My seat's been taken off a couple of times. You'll notice here, if I can spot it, you'll have like a little tie down. So you'll need to take those off, and they'll probably be wrapped around one of these pieces here. That depends if it's been taken off and if the people put it back. But I take off my seat a lot, and I'm not worried about being stolen. So the little additional clips, I can't remember on which side they are, but you may have an additional clip that wraps around the side here so the seat doesn't come off, okay? So once you've taken that off, put this aside. Take off the rider's seat. You're going to need to remove 2 screws, one here and one here. And this is where the 10 millimeters is going to come in handy. The long arm, the ratchet. Once the 2 screws have been removed, all you'll do is you'll lift it up and pull towards you a little bit. Up and towards you. Once again, I'm trying to be creative here with the camera angles and try to give you the best view possible. So I apologize if sometimes I get in the way, but I'll just do my best so you can see exactly where we're working. So don't be bothered with the wiring. That's extra wiring that we have for the F3 trailer hitch that we make, and that's what you can see there. Okay, so the piece that we're going to be working with at first is this. So you want the short end, the smaller part here. That's actually what we're going to be putting in there. And the other parts that you're going to be needing is that large washer, the lock washer that was with it, and the large bolt that goes there that we're going to be using a number 5 octagon to screw in. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to drop this in like so. Now I forgot my screwdriver. I got to get my screwdriver. All right. So I got my screwdriver here with my number 5 bit. I got my screw. I did put the lock washer right here. All right, and I have the big washer here as well. So they go like this. And we're gonna have to simply line up the hole I'm just gonna put this down here. Oh, don't want to drop anything in there. Hang on. All right, so I put that down here. I'm just gonna point to it. See the hole that we have here? And we're going to push it. It's not there, it actually goes in the hole that's there. So you're going to push it there. And while you hold it there with one hand, you can take this here and just by hand start to screw it in there a little bit. Okay, I got a couple of threads going. So now I'll take my screwdriver. Oops, that's the wrong way. Here we go. Now, how much torque do you have to put? I'm actually, with a screwdriver, it's not like a ratchet. I don't have as much torque, but I just nice and tight, and then that's it, leave it as is. So that's the first part that's done already. For this part, I'm going to come back to the workbench, and we're going to take our backrest, and we're also going to be taking this little piece here, and we're just going to put the 2 together. This is where we're going to be using the 1/8 bit. So put that on my screwdriver. Okay, and we're going to be using the 2 smallest screws possible. And there's no good way or bad way to put this. It's just one way actually. You can see there are little marks here on the back where, underneath you'll find the plate that has been threaded to accommodate these. So put that on the screwdriver like that. And you're going to have to a little bit like fish around for a little bit as you're screwing down until you can feel that you got it. I don't have it yet. Yep, that's in. So I'm not going to go all the way. Actually, just going to switch to the other one because I'm going too much on an angle. I don't want to damage the leather. I just want to go little by little on each side. So once again, just going to fish around for it. There we go. I can feel that going in. Now, this can actually move around a little bit. See that? So if you want to know if you're straight, what I did is that I just pushed it all the way to the bottom. And that gave me an even gap here. So I knew I was going to be, level or straight. So... So we're going to be assembling this piece right now, and we're going to need our stopper. So the way this goes is that you'll see when you look at this here, you have an angle there, an angle there. It needs to go this way. Okay, try to move that around so you can see. And to assemble it, you're going to need these two screws here. And you're going to need two lock washers and the two regular washers as well. So, screw, lock washer, washer. And the plate is not centered. The holes are not centered completely. They're centered this way, but not in height. So you want, you know, where there's the least amount of space to be at the top. So here we go, like that. Just gonna get these started by hand. Same thing here, lock washer, washer. Here we go. And once you've got these started, you don't actually have to screw these really tight. I'm just gonna put it tight enough so that I don't lose them. This is the 532. We're actually gonna need to come and play around a little bit with these after, because this is gonna be the stopper. So going up and down with this is actually going to give you that 3-inch play on your backrest. So still working on this bracket here. We're going to be installing this piece here. Now I'm going to give you a profile look at it, and this is the way that it's supposed to go in there, okay? This way here. If you're not sure exactly which of the two you need, well, you're going to be using the longest one. One is 2 3/4, and this one's actually 3 inches. So this is the one that we need. So this will go inside there. And just insert it on one side. And on the other side, you'll be using one of these luck nuts. A luck nut is a nut that has nylon inside. Okay. And once again, we're going to be using the number 5 on one side here to hold that. And we're going to need the 7/16 on the other side. And then just go ahead and tighten that up. Don't want it too tight. You still want to be able to move it around. I just put that a little bit too tight, so I'll just take a little bit off. There we go. So you can still pivot and play around with it until we do all the adjustments. So we're going to put these two brackets together, this one and this one. And you want this one to be this way. And if you can see, this is the center. This is on the left-hand side. So put this here like that. And this will go on this. Actually goes behind it right like that. And you do have an adjustment here. You've got 4 different holes that you can use, and this will give you different height of your backrest at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead and put this at the bottom like that. So having 2 holes on top, and that's going to give me more height on my backrest. So just put that through. Start them off by hand. So you're actually using the screw that you're going to be using the 532 with. So we have the screw, the lock washer, and then through the hole and into the thread on the other side. Bring with you a couple of things. You're going to need to bring this little nut here with the 2 remaining large screws that you have. You're also going to need your number 5 bit and that half-inch key. We're back at the Spyder now, and it's time to assemble the backrest on the bracket that we've already put there. Now you're left with 2 of these screws here, the biggest one that you're going to be using the number 5 bit, and all you'll do is you have other adjustments and choices to make now. Depending if you're tall or short again, you can either use the 2 top ones or the 2 bottom ones. If you're using the 2 bottom ones, the backrest will be lower. If you're using the 2 top ones, the backrest will be higher. So we'll go ahead and use the 2 top ones for this installation. So you can start these off by hand. Actually, I recommend it. Just leave like a 1/4 inch. Don't screw it in all the way. And the reasons we do that is, I'll show you now. See this here? See those there? You can actually just now, that's why I say it's a quick release backrest, because you can actually just pull on it afterwards. So if you don't want these to move, you can use the two little remaining, am I gonna forget the word? Nuts, the two remaining nuts, you can just put those in the back and secure that there. But for now, I know it's a little wobbly, but just put that in there. We'll do the adjustments later on. If you're pretty sure where it's going to go, then you can go ahead and make that tight. But to be able to play with this when you've put your seat on, if you have one of these, it's going to help you a lot. Now, I know we've been using the screwdriver, but if you have this little ratchet here, see that? And you can put your little bit on there, then you'll be able, even if you have the seat here, to get in there and make the final adjustments if you need to change something. If not, then when you put your seat on and you sit down to take the measurements, don't screw those two screws in. Just put it down and then sit down and then play with the height and then get back off and then make your adjustments like that. And once you found the good height, not the back and forth, but the good height, you can go ahead and secure your seat down. All right, to give myself more room, I'm just going to flip this backwards here. We're going to go ahead and put our seat. We're going to put the riders first. You're going to need, you see these two holes on each side? On your seat, you have two little scoops, plastic scoops that come out like this right here. You have one here and you have one here as well. So they need to go there and there. So we just got to wiggle a little bit of room there. There we go, that's in. I can feel that's there and that's stable. I've already done my adjustments, so I'm going to go ahead and put my two screws in. Okay, we're looking at the plate right here. See, if I unscrew the two screws a little bit, and see that? Let me put that down here. I want you to see how this goes up and down here. Okay, this will actually stop it there. And if I bring it mic down, it's going to go all the way down here. So that's actually the 3 inches in play that it's going to give you. So we'll just say for argument's sake that this is where it goes after we've tried it. And if this is where it goes, then you just go ahead and secure that here like that. A little bit of time on each side, because otherwise that plate is going to move a little bit. So there we go, a little bit there. And a little bit there. There we go. Let me try to see if you can see in the camera here. Okay, see this mark here, there to there? Now we don't want to break the leather here, and that is caused by this part right here. And it's kind of sharp, so you can either take this part off and grind it down so it's not as sharp, or provided in your kit, you do have a little strip like this one here. Okay, it's rubber, it's got 3M tape. Now just use some rubbing alcohol, apply it right here, and then you'll cut a piece, the width of it, and you want this to be like halfway on, halfway off. So it actually goes this way. Let me put it on the other side there so you can see. All right, and when your seat comes against it, it's going to hit the rubber and not the metal. So it'll protect it so it doesn't get cut it up. So I won't put my seat back on. Actually, I will put my seat back on. I'll just be careful as I put my seat just for a couple of minutes like that, because I've already got a backrest. So I didn't want to go ahead and put the sticker on there for now. I'll just go ahead and do that later. So this is your look, final look. So difficulty level on this project is not really high. It's like a 4 or 5. I think the main part is just to take your time. It helps if you're working inside, and like I said, you just got to take your time, look at a video, go step by step, break it down a little bit. So break it down, take off the seat, install the one bracket, leave that there, go work on the backrest, then assemble the other bracket, put the two together, and then come back to the seat. So just break it down in different levels, and it's not going to take you that long. I say in real time it's probably like a half an hour project. So that's it. Another easy installation at the Spyder shop. My name's Pierre, and you've been watching Can-Am SpyderAccessories.com, where, of course, you can find all our products, hundreds and hundreds of them. So thank you very much, guys. Be safe.